Hello, today we are going to talk about complete columnar ciphers. Let me share my screen. Okay, so the complete columnar cipher, we will just discuss how it is encoded, and then we will decode one of the ciphers. So we are taking this plain text, right? You must be the change you want to see in the world. It's a quote by Mahatma Gandhi. We see that this quote is exactly 40 characters long, right? So we can divide this into, so 40 is 8 times 5. So we can use 8 rows and 5 columns to encode the code. So the way to do this is we create a 5 by 8 grid, right? And start writing the plain text along the rows, right? So we start saying the first word here, you must, and we kind of keep going this way to kind of complete the whole plain text, right? To write the whole plain text. So this is how the plain text has been written. You must be the change. So you is here, must is here, right? So we write it completely, and then for encoding the text, what we do is we pick up the columns, right? So we start writing the encoded text by picking up the column. So we will start, the first character would be here, right? So first 5 characters, right? So U, Y, S, H, and U would become our first 5 characters. So that's how we will start encoding the text, right? So if we go here and see how we are encoding it. So this is one encoding, right? We just took the columns as they appear here and we encoded it. So this first word here, right? This word is the first 5 characters down the column, right? So when we were encoding, we wrote the text in the row format, right? We went this way, writing the text one row at a time, but the encoded text is written in column form, right? So we wrote it in row, but we are picking up the columns and putting it out here. So this is one way of doing it, right? It's the way the columns were arranged. We are using the same format or the same order of the columns and going from the first column, right? Picked up the first 5 characters, that becomes our first word. Then we pick up the next 5 characters, Y, T, W, O, T, that became our second character set, and so forth. We keep going, right? So this is a simple way of doing it, but we can introduce more complexity in how we encode the text, right? So say we mix up the columns, right? So we don't go first column, second column, third column, but we mix up the column in a way that we pick up the first column, the third column first here, right? So we are picking up the third column out here, right? So my first 5 characters would be U, B, C, E, A, right? So that will be my first 5 characters. Then the second 5 will be STR, and then I'm going again to the 4th column here. So STRME, right? So this is how we will keep going. And then when we run out of the 4th column, we go to the first column, right? So here we are running out of the 4th column. So UBCA, STRME, right? HYNEH, right? So this is here we ran out of the 4th column, right? So L, and after that we go to first column. So LYSHN, right? So that becomes our 4th 5-letter word here. So this is how we encode. Write your plain text in the row form, right? Row first in the series of rows, and then your encoded text, right? When you pick up the text or the characters in the columnar form, that's why the name columnar cipher, right? And you pick those in the your letters encoded text in column form and write it down. You can write this one, right? If you just follow the pattern if you pick up the rows without mixing them up, it becomes a little easier to crack. But if you mix up the rows as well, it becomes a little harder. So what we will do is now we will look at one of the uh, questions which we had in the recent invitational, right? So this is a quote which has been encoded with complete columnar cipher. And there's a hint there, there's a crib here, right? There's a word labor somewhere in it. Right? And now we have to decrypt it. So to decrypt it, so what we see, right? So there are 12 5-letter words. It's divided into 12 5-letter words here. So number of characters here is 60. 5 times 12, 60. Now there are two ways we can get to 60, right? We can use 6 columns and 10 rows. That's how we can get to 60 characters. Or we can use 5 columns and 12 rows. So let us start with, there could be a trial and error here, right? We can start with 5 rows and 12, 5 columns and 12 rows. And then we can see whether that pattern, right, that we can find labor somewhere there, right? And then if we can't, then we will switch to the 6 column and 10 rows. So let us see how we go about here, okay? So we have, so if you go here, let us start putting out the things, right, in the column form. So we have R here, RA. So first we are doing the 5 column. Yeah, 5 column thing here. 1, 2, 3. So we have 5 columns and we are just writing what we have in those 5 columns, and those 5 columns should have 12 rows so that our encrypted text fits in there. So I'm just writing it down, right, on the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is only 10 columns, 10 rows, sorry. So I have to add 2 more rows here. Okay. Let's reduce the font size here so that everything fits well in a page. Okay. So H, R, and then we'll keep going. H, R, S, E, O, S, E, O. And then we have O, E. So I'm look at this place here. O, E, A, R, S. I have EEARP. EEARP. And then NLNIM. N L N I M. So you will have to create a grid and type these things. It might be a little easier for me because I'm using a computer, but you guys will have to write it down, and if it doesn't make sense, erase it or put it aside and try out a new combination. So I'm here, TOACE, TOACE. And T W R O T E A D A and T E D E R T E B V, and then sometimes if you can't get exact multiple, right, like your character, number of characters in the quote is more or less than exact multiple of something, right? Then we use some additional XX just to fill in the gaps here. But in this case, it is completely here. Now we have this hint out here, right? There is a word labor in here, right? So this is our word. L is here. And so L is here. And so we find L here, but I can't see labor anywhere occurring here. Right, so there is only one L out here, and labor is not making sense with this combination. Okay. So without spending too much time, let us turn this into a 6-column, 10-row grid. So let me quickly copy this. This might help me to turn into 6-column, 6 grid easily. So we are going to add a column out here. So I will add insert, insert column to the right. Okay, so I added one column. Now I have 6 here, but I have to remove 2 columns. Okay, so I'll remove these 2 and we will figure out. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we have D up till here. That's fine. And then we have this. Okay, it's easier to remove these things. Okay, so we have H, R, S, E, O, and O, A, S. It's easy to make mistakes here, so be cautious. Mm. Getting closer. T W R I P A D D R I H R C E. So we have laid down things on the grid. Now we go back to our word again, right? The hint word, labor. Okay, so we see L here. And what we also see, so we need A is here, LABOR, right? So it does seem like we have all these words out here. It's only that the columns have been rearranged to make it more complicated, right? So we need column. So let us see what we need here. Okay. So it seems like column 3 has to be there, right? So after column 3, we should have column LA, right? So column 5 should come after that. So if we do column A, LA, and then we need column with a B, right? So column 1. So 3, 5, 1. Okay, LAB, and then we need O, right? Which means column 4, 4. And then we need this column 6, right? But you see that in column 6, this R is in the second, in the next row, right? Which means that if I'm writing LABOR, then if this becomes the first row here, right? The 6th row becomes the first row, then this word, right? LOABR will come into play, right? So which means that after LAOB, R should be just the row before L, right? Or the first row or the first column. The column containing R should be the first column, right? Because then only we will get R in the next row. So if I put it here, what should I put here? So column 6. Now one column is remaining, right? Which is column 2. So let us put this. So column 2 will come here. So let us rearrange this and see what I have been talking about. So how do we rearrange this? Take column 3, right? 3 comes first. So let us see if I can just, let me copy up this and then we will cut from there. Keeping it here. So let me take column 3 was the first one, which contains L. So I cut this guy and I paste it here. Okay, so this becomes my first column. Okay. Now next column was 5. And column 5 is this one. So we'll take this and again bring this guy here. Column 1, which had a B in it. I wanted the same color here. Okay, we have it here. It is little tedious, but let us see. In a while, we should have the results. So now we have 4. So 4 is here. And Okay, so let us do 6 first. 6 has an R. So we did 6 and 2 is here in between that. Let me bring in 2 also in between. Okay. So now let us see if things make sense. Okay, so just arranging these things a bit. Okay, so now we see where is our labor. Okay, so LABOR, right? So that makes sense. It is spanning 2 rows, but we have labor there. Now let us try to decode this whole thing. Okay, so it seems there is a the here, the. So let us start writing it. Yes, so there is a the here. And then TRUE. Okay, so that looks like true. The true. And then what do we have? REWARDS, right? So it seems like the true rewards. Rewards. We have ARE here. The true rewards are EVER. It might be ever or ever. This looks like an in. Ever in. Let me just write that whatever I'm seeing. Maybe I will see. So proportion. Okay, yeah, that seems like a word. Then there is a to, and there is the, and then there is a hint word to the labor. Okay, seems like there is an and SACRIFICE. Okay, sacrifices or something. Yeah, sacrifices made. Okay, so that's how you can decode a columnar cipher, right? So what we did is we took this the decoded encoded text, right? Put that in a 5 by we found that there were 60 characters, so we tried first 5 by 12, right? 12 rows and 5 columns. That did not make sense, but when we put it into 6 by 10 grid, labor seemed to be forming here, right? And then when we rearrange the columns, we were able to decode it, right? So we were rearranging the columns to ensure that the labor, that word, the hint word, right, formed correctly. And in this case, the hint word was spanning 2 rows, right? But then again, it was continuous, right? LABOR, right? Spanning third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then the first row, right? That's how it was. And once you have that, right, it's pretty straightforward to be able to decode this. Okay, so that was all for today. I'll share more content as we go along. Thank you.